These are some of our patients. We have 95 patients altogether, and these are the first two patients were Robert Ettinger's mother and wife. That's his mother, and that's his first wife. And way over here is his second wife. Their hope is that science will one day be able to bring them back to life or animation. We don't really consider them even dead. We consider them to be patients who are in cryostasis, and the hope is that future science will be able to cure all diseases and rejuvenate people to prime of life or better. This is where our patients are stored. These are the cryostats in which they're kept, 6 patients to a cryostat. They're in liquid nitrogen. We don't just drop a person in liquid nitrogen, we cool them down. Under computer control, we can program the rate of cooling. They're lying on this mat here, and the liquid nitrogen gets sprayed through those through the bar here. The patients, when they're in the cryostats, are all tied to boards like this, so they don't flop down into the liquid nitrogen. The patients are in the middle with the nitrogen, so that's a patient in a sleeping bag. Every day we take measurements to make sure that we have a log book here, like these, and we record what the level is. Tape measure down until hear the bubbling. When this hits the liquid nitrogen, it makes a bubbling sound, just like filling a gas tank. Just open the nozzle and stick it into the. Just fill her up. Robert Ettinger's first book was Prospect of Immortality. That was the title of it. I don't believe immortality is possible. I just want to live as long as possible. I don't know how long that is, maybe thousands of years.
I do this once a year, and I don't have a grave to visit, so I come here to this meeting. I put new flowers in my dad's slot. If there's any possible chance that I might be able to speak with my dad again, I'd like to do that. And what's the worst that can happen? If I am buried or cremated, I know I'm gone. There's a possibility, however remote, that this may actually pan out and I may speak with my family members again. I told my mom the other day that he's surrounded by 5 naked women, which is true. He was the last one put in here, and she was kind of shocked by that, and I said, well, that's just the way it is. And they're not really naked, they're in sleeping bags, but it makes for a good joke.
There is indeed a chance, and in my opinion, a good chance, that people frozen under reasonably good conditions by present methods will eventually be revived and rejuvenated. I have and will have friends and relatives cryopreserved, and whether they'll be revived before or after me, I don't know about that, but I don't expect to be alone, and even if I were alone, I would still want to live.
In the spring, he brought the bell jar back in the house and warmed it up, and about half of the flies lived. They came back to life. And he thought, wow, this is a wonderful thing, because normally a fly only lives about 21 days till it dies from the time it's a larva and it grows as a fly. So he extended the life of the flies almost 6 months. And this was the beginning of the idea behind the cryonics movement, and freezing and keeping animals cold so that they would live a longer life. So this is the first, the kind of the seed, if you will, of cryonics, was Benjamin Franklin.
If you would be able to get control of like a nanoscale robotics and nanoscale moving things around in a human body, then we can like freeze the person and then fix it later by using some of these approaches.
We might as well, just ship the little cat up here and get her frozen. And hopefully, she can be fixed and revived one day, and I'll have her as a pet.
An ambulance to the future, because I always like to tell this story. Imagine you're walking down the street in the 1800s, and you see a guy who falls down dead on the sidewalk. and you run up to him, and there's a doctor there from the 1800s, pronounces him dead, and you run up and you say, wait, I've got the paddles, I can save him. You start pounding on his chest and everything, and they arrest you for desecrating the body, right? We know today he wasn't really dead, or he may not have been dead yet. And that's the whole question of cryonics. When does somebody really die? And if you can hold someone in stasis, stop decomposition, so that we can find out later with medical technology if the person is really dead. It might be that person just needed some form of medication, some form of gene therapy, things we've never heard of yet.
A lot of the people are looking back in 50 or to 100 years. I'm just saying, you keep me in there as long as you want to, and make sure everything's perfect, and I'll come back flying the stars and looking at new planets and discovering new life.